G'day, Stu from UAVfutures here, and today we're going to be learning about lipo chargers. You want to get into the world of RC, but you don't know which charger you should get. We're going to talk about how much money you should spend, why it's important, and also have a look at a couple of different options. We're going to have the budget option, which is ranging at under $50 US. Then we've got a middle term option, which is like $50 to $100, and then the $100 plus, and then also some extreme versions out there. So if you've ever wondered what charger to get, what are the differences, and just how much money should you spend to get best bang for the buck without burning your house down, this is going to be the video for you. So let's kick it off. We're going to start at the budget end first, and then we're going to talk importantly about making the right decision here, because it's not one to be taken lightly. And let me tell you, if you are starting to charge lipo batteries, there are some serious consequences if you get it wrong, and it's never a bad place to spend some money. One of the first chargers we're going to look at in our budget entry, you're probably going to notice it's going to be something like this. You'll see a lot of chargers that are this sort of generic little cube, or I guess mouse shape right here. These are like the bottom of the barrel budget options. Now, straight off the bat, they're going to be cheapest, but let me say, don't be tempted. I do not recommend getting a cheap charger. Why? Because if you get it wrong, you've got some dire consequences. And these chargers, they are as bare bones as they can get, and they don't offer very many features. You can't even really control this one besides what sort of charging do you want to do. Like, do you want to do a lipo or a lipo high voltage? But they work pretty easily. You simply plug it in the back. And then on the front, you'll notice this is a 2 or a 3S pack that simply plugs in the front right there. So let me get a little battery. That would be like this. You would simply connect it by its balance lead. Boom. That's it. That's how this is going to start charging. Now, the problem with this sort of thing is you can't control anything. You can't control how much current is going in. You can't do any discharging. You've got no real way to monitor the cell's health. Nothing like that. Like this, if I look on the back right here, it is putting out 2.2 amps. Now, that would be far too much. That's like a 4 times the C rating of this battery right here. So it's just not a very good fit. These sort of chargers, they usually come in a kit as well. If they have a specially designed battery where that output is matched to that specific battery, it might be okay, but for most other reasons, don't pick up these cheap chargers as your first choice. When we step up, this is for the $50 to the $100 range. You're going to get some chargers that sort of look like this. Now, this is a variation of the 4-button charger, which is very, very common. I'll put some other pictures on the screen. This one, and this is where you need to think about these, all of these now, they have a built-in power supply. So you might see some other chargers out there that are a little bit cheaper, but you still then have to power that, power the power supply, and run that straight into something like this. Now, the beauty about some of these chargers, you can either charge them off a big battery, or you can plug them directly into the mains. Now, this is the Smart Charger C6X2. I really do hate all the namings of these sorts of things. Something I do like about this, you can actually switch between the two. I do like this little cover. This specific charger does feel a little bit cheap, if you ask me. I'm going to put all the links to these down below as well. But here we go. Now, this variation of the 4-button charger, all you're simply going to do, you've got a few different options. Like, okay, it looks like we're going into a NiCad right here. Of course, for most pilots out there, we're going to be selecting a LiPo battery. But when it comes to chargers, you do need to shop around a little bit, and I think it is never a bad place to spend some money in your charger. It's going to last you a long time, and of course you want it to be safe as well. And I'm going to give you some safety charging tips towards the end of this video as well. Now, something to look out for. You will notice on this one, we've got 2 USB-C ports. They're a little bit off-center on here. Like, this whole charger actually does feel cheap because it is cheap compared to some of the more expensive ones we've got in the next category. But a big one, when you step up from these little chargers here to these sort of dedicated ones where you've got a few more options to control things, you can control the current, and you can do discharge and balance charge, storage charge. Like, this is a significant step up from little things like this one. But you'll notice this has 2 ports as well, so you can charge 2 batteries at once. And I think that's a big one, because when you go out to the field or you come home from flying, you should be charging your batteries at about a rate of 1C, and that can take up to like an hour for a lot of batteries out there. So having the option to do 2 of them at once, it's a big plus. It might not seem like much, but it really is a time saver. Look into that. That's worthwhile. If you can charge more than 1 battery at once, it is going to make a difference in just usability and enjoyability of part of the hobby. So be mindful of that. This one right here, I would say it's okay. I have charged a few packs on this specific model. It's not my recommendation. It's very, very basic. It's just like a variation of the standard 4-button charger out there. And also, it's much easier when you look at the next ones that we step up. We've got like some little scroll wheels and things like that that just make doing charging and like using your lipo so much easier. So move on to the $100 to the $200 category before we talk about some extreme options and also some little bonus tips as well. So next, you're going to notice I've got some Sky RC and some more toolkit chargers right here. I'll see if I can get them in shot. And these are all relatively similar. Once you get on this $100 plus mark, you're going to get quite a lot of features that are just great to have. And this is probably my recommendation. And I know this is a budget focused channel. I want to get as many people flying as I can, but having a good charger, it really, I don't know if it pays for itself, but it's definitely something I would recommend it as important as getting a good set of goggles and a radio that you're comfortable with. I would get a good charger before I spent my money on a decent drone or anything like that. I would much prefer to have a cheaper, more value-orientated drone that I'm probably going to crash than an expensive charger. So let's plug this in. The one we're going to look at today as a bit of an example of some of the extra features we've got right here. This is the toolkit. This is the, I think it's the MS DAC, but the Pro version. I'm going to link them all down below anyway. This one, it's doing some things a little bit differently. It's a bit of an upgraded one. I've used the original one, which is right here. We've also had a similar Sky RC one as well, but there's a couple of things I like about this one. Number one, of course, you can power this either from the mains from your wall, or where just got it on the bench here, it's charging by a little lipo battery. The other thing that I really like, you've got these scroll wheels, you notice on this, it makes it really easy to navigate through the menus, all that sort of stuff. This one, it has a USB-C output, which might not be a big deal for most people, but if you'd like to plug something in the back and then you can simply charge your phone off it as well, just like you get a lot of those usability features. Some of these will have some Wi-Fi options as well if you'd like to monitor your battery health on your phone and that sort of stuff. A big one about this one, if you have a phone that has like some wireless charging that some of these others don't, you can stick that on the top and charge it from here. That was actually a bit of a lifesaver for my wife's Samsung phone, which broke. That's saying there was water in the charge plug or something. So until we got that fixed, we were using a little charger like this. On the front, of course, you'll notice you've still got your outputs for 2 batteries. And I don't recommend people doing parallel boards or anything like that. That's not safe. Just if you're going to do multiple batteries at once, really, you should have either multiple chargers or multiple dedicated charging ports. Now, this one is probably my pick of the bunch. I use it all the time. I have used Toolkit in the past, as well as Sky RC and IDST or whatever they are. All really good brands. Toolkit has had some issues in the past, but in the last like 2 years or so, I haven't had an issue with them. They've never missed a beat. If I had to pick between these three, actually, I would say the one that's had the most issues, and they haven't really been significant. Sometimes the scroll wheel on the Sky RC charger does get a little bit funny. I don't know what the issue is about that. But yeah, all three of these chargers, can't recommend them enough. You do need to shop around a little bit though, because prices vary wildly. Whether you look at AliExpress or you look at like a tariff, I'm not too sure exactly the price when you are looking at this, but getting a good charger, I can't recommend it. And then that probably brings us on to this sort of stuff. So this right here is on the other extreme end. Now this is actually just the power supply that goes to some expensive chargers out there. This thing can pump out enough juice to run like 2 induction cooktops at the same time. Like what's on the back here, it can pump out 60 amps or 1800 watts. It is absolutely crazy. It's got a huge like XT90 thing in the back. This power supply is completely overkill. So that's something you need to think about as well. If you married this up to like some of the chargers out there, like this is almost industrial scale, charging lots of chargers at once or running a whole bunch of juice to something. If you're an everyday RC pilot, you don't need this sort of stuff. So don't be tempted. You don't need to spend insane amounts of money. My recommendation here is really this $100 to $150-ish mark. Like either any of these, I'm gonna put the links for all these chargers down below. If you're just a little bit off, save up that little bit more money. I think this is where you need to spend it. Don't go crazy, don't get something like this. Definitely, please don't buy the really cheap $30 chargers. I know it can seem tempting. And these middle chargers, I feel like for just a little bit more cash, like one extra payday or one extra birthday, whatever it is, you're just gonna have such a better time using these ones. Like this charger for me, it feels cheap. That's because it is cheap. I would always use this over the, I guess, like this $30 option here. But but with all that said and done, this is really where it's at. Please go and get this one. Now, something that you guys are going to love, and it's not going to break the bank as well, is this right here. Now, this isn't actually a battery charger, but I use this more than any of my chargers when it comes to my lipo batteries. So again, this is Toolkit, but there's lots of different versions. Let me show you actually. So I've got another one right here. This one's actually on a piece of string directly connected to this table so I don't lose it. Like, thanks very much. That's a little ADHD hack right there. But this is a little battery checker. Now, what I do, you plug this in, and then with my balance lead, you can read the voltage of the cells and all that sort of stuff. So 3.8 cell, 3.8 volts per cell. Like, getting one of these, I'll put the link down below as well, is an absolute lifesaver. If you want it, you can always plug your battery in here, check its voltage, all that sort of stuff. But it's so quick. Just plug it in here, boom, Bob's your uncle. I know exactly what my cells are. I can find out what battery is ready to charge, what one I can take out of the field, what one I need to put into storage charge. Like, a real time saver. If you're serious about RC, I cannot recommend one of these enough. A fantastic purchase that I use all the time. And this one specifically here, like, I've had this for years. You can get a cheap one of these as well. You don't need to get a fancy feature-packed one. But yeah, amazing. If you do get like, this one's also a servo control one. It's got a scroll wheel. I've charged my phone in some blackouts and stuff like that. This is actually how sometimes I charge that field camera, because it's got a USB-C output. So this one I can actually plug the main lead, the power lead into here, and now I can get some voltages out as well. So I've used that to power the USB-C battery for this camera sometimes in the field. I've used it to charge my phones in blackouts. Just a really handy little bit of kit. I'm going to put this link down below as well. That wasn't really meant to be part of the review, but anyway. Now I'm working on some charging guides as well. I've got a few on my channel. There's going to be a members only one, so if you're a brand new pilot, definitely check out and think about becoming a member on UAVfutures. But as a quick little rough guide, charging batteries, you need to do it carefully and always charge at 1C. So if we have, like here, I've got a 1.5 amp hours or a 1,500 milliamp hour battery. It's a 4S. So I would charge at 1.5 amps, because this is 1,500 or 1.5 amp hours, and I would set it to 4S in my battery charger. So that's going to do the voltage and the amperage. That is the best way to charge. It's kind of like best practice. You can do a little bit more. It might reduce the life of your battery. Do not charge your batteries as fast as they can, because it is a serious safety concern. Batteries, they're pretty good at discharging. Trying to reverse that and actually put current and juice back into the battery, that's when most of the lipo fires happen, and lipos need to be taken seriously. And my other little tips as well, store them somewhere safe, like in some buckets of sand. Don't leave full charge batteries around. Like, there's a lot of battery safety warnings out there. And also, if you're going away on holidays, and here's the last little bonus little tip that might be worth subscribing for. If you've got some others, put them down below. But if you're going away on holidays, the best place to store your batteries, in my opinion, is actually in like a casserole dish or something in the oven. So if the worst happens and one of those batteries bursts into flames, at least it's in the oven, and then in a little casserole dish where it's kind of designed to take that sort of heat. It might just save your house from burning down. So anyway, that's it on today's video. Subscribe for more FPV related content, and go watch this video for like a radio guide if you're new to the hobby as well. We go through a complete deep dive of all the radios out there that's going to make a difference to your flying. We've got different categories from expensive all the way down to the budget options, and that's probably going to be a little bit surprised here, because one of the favorite radios on that list is actually one of the budget ones. All right, go check that out, and as always, happy flying.